an author and a motivational speaker, I always say that I don't punish the people for coming early, for the ones who come late. My professor says that to me, and I maintain that. So what I wanted to talk to you first about, I want to tell you that everybody talks about positive thinking, right? And when they say positive thinking, they tell you to be positive. And if you say, I'm going to go to university and I want to become a doctor, they would say to you, you want to become an engineer. They would say to you, well, that's great, you know. I wish you luck. I hope you're successful. So hope is not positive. Hope is maybe you will and maybe you won't. So really, positive thinking is I can, I will, I am, and that's it. So what is positive thinking? We talk about positive thinking. So before I go on to say what is positive thinking, I want to say that there are no limits. There are no limits except those that are created in the mind. And that's exactly what I want to talk to you about. So positive thinking is a mental attitude. It's placed in the mind with mental images, thoughts, and words to bring about your expected results. That's what positive thinking is all about. And then I want to tell you that the power is inside of you. Everybody looking for God outside and looking for something outside, but it is inside of you. So if you know that that power is inside of you, then you don't have to worry about who's got what and who did it and so on and so forth, because you can have anything you want. You choose, you make your choice, you make your decisions, and you go and get it. But just because you decide to go and get it, it doesn't mean that you're going to get it right away. The road to success, it's paved with hurdles and bumps and everything else. Life never stops just because you want to go and do something. You have to go with the long haul. You have to persevere. You have to persist. You have to that fire in your belly, and you have to go out and do everything that you want to do. So in attaining a goal, it says that the difference between a goal and a dream is wishful thinking, and a goal has action. It has timeline. And it has all the things I just talked about, like perseverance and so on and so forth. And you have to believe. You have to believe. You have to believe that you can get it. And I'll tell you how you can believe to get that. Because this whole idea is that you know that people work hard their whole lives, right? And yet there's perpetuating poverty. There's perpetuating poverty worldwide. So if we don't get what we necessarily want, we get what we believe that we can have. So how do you believe? Point is that we use the five senses, and the five senses is what we use for everything, right? So the five senses is that the sound, the sight, the smell, the touch, and the taste. The five senses allows us to make decisions. It is logical, it is analytical, and so we use it to drive. We use it to do everything we want to do in our awakening mode. It works in our awakening mode. But then we have another level of mind called the subconscious mind. And everything we tell the subconscious mind, good or bad, every time we tell the conscious mind good or bad, it says no problem, it goes right into the subconscious mind. So to explain the subconscious mind a little bit more so you have an idea of what I'm talking about, it's really a storage device. It really is like a computer, and you store information in it. It doesn't analyze it. It doesn't judge it. It gives you exactly what you put in, and if you say garbage in, garbage out. So every time you say, I'm no good at this, oh, I'm too lazy, oh, I'm too old, oh, I can't do this, it brings it back to you. And that is the key. So everything, you go into the refrigerator and you're looking for something, and then you can't find it, and you say, I'm going blind. But you say that over and over and over, and the subconscious mind says, no problem, this is what you want, that's exactly what you're going to get. And you run up the stairs and you say that, oh, I want whatever it is that you want. And you run up the stairs and you say, oh my God, I forgot what I went for. Then you go back and you say, I'm losing my mind. And you say that over and over. You are not losing your mind. You have so much on your mind. The memory that your mind has, that if you were to stack sheets of paper, it would go to the moon and back. That's how much memory you have inside of you, in your head. So it's not about that, because when you went upstairs, you forgot what you went for, because you did not really, you just run up and says, oh, I'm going to get something, but you didn't focus on what you were going to get on, because you had so much more going on without you not even knowing it. So once you understand that the subconscious mind gives you what you want and gives you what you don't want, so how do you get rid of it? You have to go and say, stop. When you find yourself doing this, you say stop, and you say cancel, because you delete information from your computer, so you want to delete that. And you could do that every night on a nightly basis. You don't have to really do anything. When you go to bed at night, you just say, everything I put in this subconscious mind, I'm going to take it away. I'm going to just let it go. Cancel, 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 or stop, I'm removing it. And that's it. So the power is inside, right? The conscious mind. I talked about the conscious mind and how it works, right? But the conscious mind will not allow you to set goals, what you don't think you can achieve. It limits you. The limitation of the conscious mind is that it only allows you to set goals, those which you think you can achieve. So how do you get goals? So people do different things in order to get goals. First of all, in getting a goal, you create a vision without barriers. You say, if I had nothing, if I had no limitation and I wanted to be a singer, I wanted to be, whether it's Celine Dion or Frank Sinatra, I wanted to be a singer, the best singer there is. Right off the bat, you've created a thought. Your thoughts have power. You have to believe that it's the power of thought. Everything that you have ever realized or materializes in your life has to come through a thought. You have to think to come to buy a book. You have to think to go somewhere. It is your thought. And if you change your thoughts, you'll change your mind. But the conscious mind does not allow you to do that because it's logical, it's analytical. It only sees what exists right now. So how do you get your goal? You create a vision without barriers. You say, this is what I want to do. But then you have to evaluate the consequences, because if you want to be a singer, you have to know you're going to be on the road. You're going to be in a van somewhere. You're going to be with a group of people. You're not going to have a family life at home, at least for a while. You're always going to be there. So if that's what you want, then go for it. If you want to open a restaurant, then you'll say yes, but it's not a 9-to-5 job. So you have to evaluate, why is it you want. Don't do it because someone else does it. You got to do it because it's your passion, because this is what you want to do. And once you know this is your passion and this is what you want to do, then you have to make sure that you start doing the work. So you could do this through creative visualization. The book explains it very well. And it says that, I told you, it's a mental image. You see the end results. You don't see the hurdles. The hurdles are there. There's a million reasons why you wouldn't get your goals. And there's only one reason why you will get it, because you believe in it. So how do you believe in it when you don't think you could get it, right? How you believe in it is that you could do, there are there's several types of meditations. So people go into shrine, people go up in the beautiful Coronado and go there and sit there and talk to the birds and just connect the mind and body together. You have to do something different in order to get something different. If you do what you've always done, you're going to get what you've always gotten. So you got to change. So you have to do something different. So you connect the mind and body, and you have to believe that your words have power. And you have to see that end result. You have to keep your eyes on your prize. You have to keep focus on what you want. And once you keep focus on what you want, you keep your eyes on your prize, then you have to do the work. It doesn't come easy. You could visualize all you want, you could say whatever you want, but you got to do the work. And sometimes when you do the work, like when I was doing my PhD, I did all the work. My professor never read my work. 6 months into this PhD program and $12,000, he says, you've got to change. He says, because you don't speak Urdu and you're looking for child poverty and child hunger and child poverty in Bangladesh, you're a woman, they'll never allow you to do that. So just because you've decided to do it, somebody could die. A child could be sick, yours could be divorced, you could have all kinds of issues. You have to want this with that fire in your belly. You have to want it with all the energy in you, and you have to persevere. And when you have it, it'll be the day, it will be so beautiful, they would say, wow, I've done it. If you create small vision, small goals, you're going to have small goals. If you create big goals, you're going to have big goals. The subconscious mind doesn't weigh anything. Whatever you tell it, over time it accepts it. So think of that. So on top of patience and faith in your goal. So think about that. You go out. Think of your brain as this beautiful garden that has, the soil is really good and it's clean and it's whatever. And you put some seeds in there, tomato seed or whatever seed you put. And the seed has to germinate. Then it has to grow. It has to have flowers and blossom. It takes a long time for it to get. Now the bigger the goal, the bigger the tree, the bigger the fruit, the longer it will take. Right? So you don't quit. You just have to persevere. The smaller the goal, the quicker you will get it. So this is how the brain works. The brain works in terms, you have to be positive, you have to tell it, visualize what you want, you have to say the affirmations, you have to do the meditation, you could walk, you could just go for a walk. You don't have to really lie in bed or sit down and do anything. You could go for a walk and think. When you walk alone and you're going a pathway, you're free. You just go there. And you could just, you're open space, and it allows you to think. You're one with your higher self, and that's how you can rewire the brain. You have to reprogram your brain, because the brain is also so used to using just the 5 senses. Now you're bringing in the 6th sense into it, right? And then we say the God. Okay, so we talk about God. Some people call it the universal intelligence. Some people call it the superpower, the higher self, whatever. It's something bigger than, even if you're 10 feet tall, it's still a package, it's a shell. It's the inside that matters. It's the inside of us that really resonates with who we are and what we can become.